things like that. Until eventually, then I didn't have a shop. I rented a place. I started having those things where you can come, ask for it, order for it, and things like that. So that's how Omega Consortium started. So today we deal in different things, not things I studied or things I was taught by anyone, but things I had to get at because I wanted to make a living out of them. So, and there are a lot of things I'm looking into. I grab it, I can go out there too, because people going to school have come to see education from a different perspective. Those people who say they went to school only went to school to gather education through formal means. You can actually educate yourself without going to school. Get the information, because what happens in a classroom is simply transfer of knowledge. So you can get that transfer of knowledge along the street, in the market, on top of a tree, in your bedroom, anywhere, and from anybody. It doesn't matter. If I know, if you tell me something today and I use it tomorrow, there's no tag. That's just something that people don't put, you know, you see, put copyright. Something that people don't say is you that taught me. So it doesn't really matter. Nobody knows who taught Buhari today in primary school. You probably have forgotten his primary school teacher. So
I'm sure you are gathering one or two things. You don't really need to have a formal education to be great in life. We'll be having an interaction and we'll have people out here, journalists, to ask you questions. But before we go there, business environment in Nigeria and business environment in Republic of Benin. Can you put it and look at it and say, do we have more opportunities in the Republic of Benin, or is it better here in Nigeria, since you have this dual privilege of doing businesses here in Nigeria and of course in the Republic of Benin?
Well, to that I think I will just not expand it so much. Benin Republic is not as advanced as Nigeria is, both in geographical disposition and the people social disposition. Their people aren't anything compared with Nigerians. That's just one thing. You can't contest that. But one thing I have observed, today is 13th January, am I right?
Absolutely, yes.
By 4:35 today, it will be 22 years I've stayed in that country. I stepped my foot 4:35 on 13th January 1996. I returned with date and time because I went there conscious of something, and everything I've been doing there, I've had a kind of, what do you call it, records. So I went there with my eyes open. So I observed certain things. The reason why it's easy for you to make it there, even though it looks difficult. They have systems. The problem we have in Nigeria today, if you ask me, if I'm allowed to delve into that, is what we actually lack here is systems. That is why we believe in people. That is why our political parties or our politicians are moving from political party to political party. There are no systems. If those systems are well defined, okay, let's look at America, for example. We tend to imitate America in everything, but they have systems. You know, if you say someone is a Republican, there is unexpected behavior you expect from a Republican. And when you ask a question to a Democrat, you can actually preempt his answers because you know how a Democrat is supposed to think. And when you see a Democrat that begins to think of it like a Republican, you can actually identify that. How do you do that in Nigeria? Is there any way a PDP man thinks differently from an APC man? I see them thinking the same way. Their interests, that's what they think about.
Now, before we go into that aspect, in a very short way.
I was saying something.
Yes, before we go there, in a very short way, can you introduce yourself and actually greet people and recap what you have said now in French?
Yeah, I can.
Please do.
Bon, j'avais dit qu'au Bénin, si vous voulez réellement intégrer sur le système béninois, je veux parler du Bénin parce que c'est le Bénin que je suis, c'est là où je me suis demeuré aujourd'hui, c'est là où je me débrouille pour faire des activités. Donc, si vous voulez réellement intégrer dans le système du Bénin, ça marche parce que ils ont les systèmes articulés. Ils ont les systèmes articulés. C'est-à-dire il y a des choses, ça ne dépend pas de l'individuel qui est là. Le système est là. Vous pouvez aller à la police et demander le service d'un policier et ça va être servi tel que ça doit être. Ça ne dit rien si c'est un nordiste qui est au poste, un soudiste qui est au poste, quelqu'un d'autre parti qui est au poste, mais un policier doit répondre en tant qu'un policier.